Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Overwatch's Halloween Terror 2020 event, going for the Volatile Zomnics achievement. This one's going to be available whenever the Junkenstein challenges are going to be available in the arcade. This one is going to be the third mission, which is going to be Volatile Zomnics. Make sure you load that up. We're going to stick with our classic team of McCree, Torbjorn, Brigitte, and Zenyatta for this. This one's gimmick is it's going to be Junkenstein's revenge on expert difficulty, but with the twist of the zombies are going to explode every time you kill them. Only the regular zombies are going to explode, so you don't have to worry about the zombideers nor the bosses exploding on you if you get too close to them. This one's going to be another one that's going to be super duper easy, as you are probably going to kill most of the zombies at a distance anyways. So if you do plan on running an alternate build, I recommend advising against any close range characters. That being said, the only close range character in this build is going to be Brigitte, so you want the Brigitte player to be a little careful. She is going to be very useful elsewhere, as her pushback is going to be really good for pushing the shock tires back, and her shield bash stun is going to be another good backup to use against the bosses in case McCree is trying to recharge his stun grenade.
I find your religion unnerving, monk.
My beliefs.
With all that being said, of course, this is going to be Junkenstein's revenge, so make sure you do keep up on things like you normally would. So you're going to have the scripted events that you want to make sure you keep a note of the timestamps. 6:51, you have your first tire. Make sure you take it out. Again, make sure you have your team call for it, and make sure you try to blow it up before it gets to the door. And then you're going to have another one come in at 6:33, again from a random spot. So make sure you have someone back up to the door, and then make sure they call for it. And then everyone is going to try to gang up on it to try to blow it up before it gets to the door. And then back to the defense, everyone goes.
Dragon took your arm?
I burned it clean off.
And the eye?
Tavern wall.
Dark presence coalesced in the midst.
At 5 minutes and 48, you're going to have the Reaper come on in. So this is the first boss. So he's going to warp on in. Make sure you try to take him out before he gets his ultimate off. So he's going to start phasing. If he gets 4 phases in, he's going to throw off his ultimate. Make sure you have the Torbjorn ultimate throw up Molten Core towards the bridge. You don't want the lava pool to be too close to your teammates. The reason for that is the zombies that are going to be stepping in it and dying are going to give you trouble with all of the explosions. If you can, try to have the McCree use his ultimate to take out the Reaper swiftly. However, do keep in mind, I advise using the McCree ultimate when the board is going to be cleared of zombideers, because a zombideer blast is going to cancel out the McCree's ultimate, so be a little careful of that. Make sure you try to clear out all of the zombideers before attempting to use McCree's ultimate, and that's going to be the main way of getting rid of all of the bosses. Once Reaper is taken care of, you're going to have 3 tires in between the 2 bosses right here. So you have the first one pop up at 4 minutes and 54 from a random location, one at 4 minutes and 39, and then a last one at 4:25, which should round out that set of 3.
You blame yourself for the dragon's reign of terror, but it is not your.
At 3 minutes and 53, you're going to have Junkenstein's monster show up. I'm going to highly recommend that you try to use McCree's ultimate right here, as you don't want to deal with him on the board too long, because you do have a tire that comes up at 3 minutes and 24. 4 seconds. So don't let that tire sneak up on you. So try your best to take out the Roadhog as quickly as possible. You can, of course, use everyone else's ultimates, so Torbjorn's ultimate is going to be very useful. Make sure you try to pepper it near the door, and then try to pull the Roadhog over here, and then have the McCree get an angle on him. Load up that ultimate, and then hopefully you should be able to hit him, which should take him down half of his health, and then just finish him off by having everyone gang up on him. Make sure you mine the tire that pops up at 3 minutes and 24, especially if the boss fight is still going on. Make sure you try to take it out, and then we're going to have another slow part. Get back on the defensive. Remember to keep your distance from the zombies, of course. You don't want that damage to pile up, and make sure you thin out those zombideers because they're going to give you the most damage.
Became charged with the arcade as the summoner appeared in their midst.
Once we get to 2 minutes and 52, we're going to have another boss in the form of the Symmetra. So she's going to pop in. She makes things a little tricky by popping up the barrier, so be a little careful. You kind of have to deal with the zombies closer, but again, it's not too bad because you still can kill them from a distance. You just can't kill them super far back. Make sure you try to use your ultimates on her, and then try to not let too many people pile up on the door. Torbjorn's ultimate is going to be a very good defensive measure here. There's going to be a tire coming in from the right on 2 minutes and 36, so make sure you don't let that sneak up on you. Quickest way of dealing with her is to basically have the Brigitte and the McCree trade off stunning her, so make sure you switch off between shield bash and stun grenades, and you should be able to whittle her down swiftly. Make sure you try to recover and then get the door back. Make sure you take out anyone who's close, and then make sure you try to weed out those zombideers.
As the battle raged, Dr. Junkenstein himself made a grand appearance.
1 minute and 52, Junkenstein is going to show up. Hopefully the McCree player saved his ultimate for this, as you are able to take out Junkenstein super duper quickly. Obviously, make sure you clear the board of any zombideers before attempting to throw out your ultimate, and then make sure you find a safe angle to use it at. You want to make sure you have everyone pull the grenades away from you, and then make sure you find your safe spot to use it. There is going to be a Reaper that shows up at 1 minute and 36, who's going to give the middle of the bridge a lot of trouble. Again, a Torbjorn ultimate is going to be very useful here, and the Zenyatta ultimate is going to be a great backup. So make sure you utilize those the best you can, but try your best to have the McCree player look out for an opportunity to hit that ultimate on the Junkenstein. Of course, if you don't get the opportunity to use your ultimates on him, you can always hold off on it, so just make sure you defeat him the old-fashioned way, especially if his health is too low. Might as well save it for a more opportune time later. The important thing is the McCree needs to have his ultimate by the time you get to the last bosses once the time runs out. Do watch out for the back-to-back tires that show up at 49 and 47 seconds. First one is going to always come from the left, second one is always going to come in from the right. Make sure you split the group up, and then make sure you try to take out both, and then hopefully you are able to pull that off, and then you're going to have a Reaper come in at 33 seconds. He's not going to give you too much trouble at this point since you are fighting him solo, but you do want to kind of rush this. Make sure you watch out for the tire that does come in from the middle at 25 seconds, though. That one can catch you off guard if everyone's too focused on the Reapers. And then just make sure you also have the McCree get his ultimate, because you are going to need that once time runs out. So build that up if you don't have it on the McCree, and then once the bosses pop up, you're going to try to get them all in your ultimate. So have the McCree get into a good position. A good spot's going to be the left side. Make sure you clear the board of any zombideers, obviously, and then the McCree should be ready to hit that ultimate. Of course, if you can't get a good vantage point, you can always try to flank the bosses by heading behind them, or you can hang out in the little body of water on the right side. But obviously your priority is going to be to take out the Mercy first. So try to get her in the shot, and if you can try to fit all three people in, the better, since you should be able to take the Roadhog down to half and almost finish off the Junkenstein. So if the McCree can hit the ideal ultimate, you should have a very easy time with the last three bosses. Finish up the Roadhog super duper easily, and just make sure you finish off the Junkenstein in only a few shots. So super duper easy, and that's going to be another one in the bag. Once we take out all three bosses, we should be good for the victory, and once we get to our victory screen, we should be good for the achievement that goes along with it. So there it is, and there's going to be our achievement. This one, of course, is going to be for another 15 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.